Steph, you are the founder and creative director of WomanUnited. Who is WomanUnited and what do you do?
We are a UK-based charity, and our mission is to make sure every woman around the world understands the power of her voice.
Why?
Well, I mean, look at what you've done today. When women come together and start sharing their stories, we start to realize that we have all gone through a lot of similar things, but we thought we were alone in it the whole time. Like so many of your survivors have said, so many of the survivors, including yourself and Erica, in our campaign told us is they didn't tell anyone when they were going through their experience with domestic abuse because they were so ashamed. They never thought they would be believed. And even if they thought that they might be believed, they thought somehow they were to blame. Yeah. And until we actually use our voice and tell the people we love, share our story in a safe way, we don't realize that we're all going through, not all, so many of us are going through a similar experience. And once we start sharing our stories, they lose their power over us. And what we're trying to do in our campaign, and what you're trying to do, I think, is break that stigma and shame cycle and help women to not feel so alone. And there is a transformative healing power of telling your story. It allows you to make sense of things, to work through what happened to you. And when you tell that story to someone you trust in a safe way, you get checked in a way, right? Those stories that you tell yourself that are so false, right? Our inner mean girl, the things that she says to us. Once your best friend hears it, Layla, are you nuts?
Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
What happened to you is not okay. What's happening to you is not okay. And so once you say things out loud, once you share them, they do lose their power, and you start to realize that the stories we've been told our whole life by the systems, by our families, by society, they're based on lies. They're based on lies that women should be silent, women should be quiet, women should be agreeable. All the should-bes of who you're supposed to be. It keeps us in this broken cycle of silence.
I know that because the charity is still so young, right, and it's doing something that has never been done before, the struggle, should we call it?
Struggle's real.
To get grants and funding from the government has been a massive stumbling block for WomanUnited, hasn't it?
Yes. We started out as kind of a ragtag group of creatives that wanted to make a difference in this world, and led with our creativity and our vision and our dreams, and we have big dreams. And we received a really generous donation from a friend in the very beginning to fund us for our first 6 months. And we stretched that, because we're scrappy, for almost all this year, because we couldn't shoot our campaign until lockdown restrictions were over. And we've been applying for grants since we started last October, both from private organizations, from foundations, and from government funding, but so many of them need a proven track record. They need years of financials. They need you to be established. And so many people will not take a chance on someone doing something so new and so different without proof of that it works. And we know it works.
I know it works.
You know it works. You know that we've created something that really does have the potential to change thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of women's lives around the world. But we can't do that without money. We can't keep it going. We can't create these workshops unless we get funding. And so we have gotten to the very end of what we have. And so we just launched a crowdfunder campaign since we can't get any grants, we need people that really believe in our mission, that are willing to take a chance on us, private citizens that want to help us achieve our dreams.
And I think the most important thing here is that with the right funding, these workshops can be delivered for free for survivors.
Yes. And that is our goal, because we don't think money should be, like you were talking about how the systems are failing, right? How so many women don't have access to proper therapy or the services that they need to heal. And we don't have all the answers, but if we can just for 2 days give a woman hope, give a woman a feeling that she's gonna be okay and that she can make meaning out of what happened to her. And I mean, that is one of the most important components of healing, is when you can make meaning out of your pain, of what happened to you, when you can use that as fuel to help others, it has a dramatic impact on your life and your journey. And so if we can do that in our own small way and kind of be the spark that lights a fire, that's what we want to do. So if we have the right amount of funding, we can make that happen.
And what is the vision for Women United in terms of helping survivors of domestic abuse on their healing journey?
So originally our charity started because we just wanted to help women tell their stories, and we didn't know what it was going to look like. And we started by doing these creative portrait campaigns because we wanted to hold up a mirror to show women how incredibly powerful and beautiful they are. And what happened during our campaign shoots, in our first one in Bali and here in London, which you were a part of, you see this transformation. You see this woman all of a sudden see herself the way that everyone else sees her.
It.
Yeah, it's so incredible, and it's so hard to put into words what happens, but it is healing and empowering, and it's just this, it feels like magic. I don't know how else to explain it.
It was magic.
And we realized during this campaign shoot that we wanted to do more. We didn't want to just do these awareness and fundraising campaigns every year. We wanted to bottle that secret sauce that happens on the photo shoot that you experienced, and create a workshop that replicates that experience. So we can do these in-person workshops and then expand around the world to do both digital and hopefully someday global workshops to help empower and heal women. Not just domestic abuse survivors, though this will be our focus for this year, but women around the world to find the power of their voice. And in the workshops, our vision is this 2-day workshop where we come together and help women craft their own personal rallying cry, their call to action, because it's one thing to start healing and sharing your story in a small group, but how do we actually turn that story into something that can create action, that can create change around the world, that can create a ripple effect of inspiring other women to share their stories? And so in our workshops, we want to go through an extended version of our photo shoot and have the women walk away at the end with this 5-minute, almost like I have a dream speech, and have that as the springboard for their platform to create change in their communities. And this upcoming year, if we can raise enough money, we want to take 25 domestic abuse survivors that are already doing the amazing work like you are, and the women that you have here today, and help them turn their voice into something that has a dramatic impact on their communities locally, but also around the world.
So for all the information about Women United, please look in the link down below in the description bar to the crowdfunding campaign.